Welcome to the Denver Athletic Club. David Fink alongside the teen heartthrob, Anthony Celesto. Anthony, thanks for joining us here for this final quarterfinal match of race stop number 5, race season number 2. This is Charlie Shanks, now living in New York City. He's ranked number 1, Anthony. He's taking on Emmett Peixoto, who was formerly ranked number 1 about 5 years ago. Anthony, you've played both these guys. You played Emmett more than I think you would like to have played him in the last few tournaments, and you've also played Charlie Shanks. These guys have a very good rivalry dating back to about 2007. What do you see here, Anthony? I mean, Emmett won the last time they played. Charlie had won the last 2 times before that. I mean, this is a match that really goes back and forth.
Well, honestly, Dave, I believe that if Emmett's able to get his left hand going and shooting the ball more consistently and kind of keeping Charlie off balance and out of the front court, I think he's going to do okay. If Charlie serves on, which it was in his previous match, I don't know if Emmett's going to be able to handle it. I mean, it's a tough serve, but we'll have to just see, and they're both competitive players, so it should be a good battle.
Emmett's one of these guys, Anthony, that doesn't look like he's doing anything special, but when you're in there with him, you just feel like you can't do anything. Yeah. He's just got you off balance, and Emmett starts with an ace there, and he gets to everything.
That's the thing I was going to say. It's so frustrating as a player playing someone else who plays like you. And Charlie, I played Charlie at the Alaska tournament, and he was frustrated because I was getting everything, and Emmett's the same way. He'll pick up all the shots, you know, so Charlie's going to have to be pretty crisp on all his shots.
Well, I'm sure you heard, Anthony, Charlie won the NYAC Invitational last week. He played incredibly well there. Now, that was with the 21 ball, which is a little bit different, and I know Charlie didn't have a chance to really prepare with this ball throughout the week as he was just kind of taking it easy after that event. But we'll see if he's made the adjustment. It is different, and these courts are a little bit different too. And normally, Charlie's a guy that comes in on Thursday and tips the ball around, but he didn't do that yesterday. So we'll see if he's acclimated yet, and that looks pretty good.
Oh, beautiful. And like you said, you've always said when Charlie's playing, his revolving door shot, when that ball comes around, wraps around, he's one of the best in the game.
To me, I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen anyone with that kind of consistency. He can get his right hand on anything, even a ball that scrapes the back wall. He gets his right hand on it and just hits bullets.
Well, yeah, and it's hard. They're hard. Like you said, they're bullets. It's not like he's just getting them back. He's shooting them. It's a nice return by Emmett there.
And there it is again. And that's a ball that ate him up. I mean, he misjudged that just a little bit, came into his body. He still was able to adjust his swing and flat kill it.
And that back corner is tough because it's dark and you have different shades when you move up and down. So
very difficult in that back corner. And it's kind of, what would you call it, a 3-tiered back wall? I mean, you've got glass, solid glass, which as a player, you're not used to that.
Let's see, there Emmett missed his shot down the left.
Anthony, you played Emmett today and obviously didn't do as well as you would have liked, but looked to me like he wasn't really letting his right hand swing go, like a little defensive with his right hand, not really sure of himself. I don't know if it felt like that being in there. His left, of course, looked great, but he's going to need to get that right hand going.
It's a close serve.
Second serve.
Now, let's not forget, Charlie, that Emmett arrived here at 11 a.m. today. Yeah, he had a concert last night in San Francisco, so he didn't sleep. Gets here at 11. I thought you would have a good chance to upset him. It didn't work out that way, but we'll see if he can overcome that, you know, fatigue and that traveling today in his second match. I think it could be even tougher in his second match here today than it was in his first.
And I agree with you. But being in this altitude, it's tough the way it is.
Yeah.
You know? Oh, we called an avoidable there. That's a tough call.
I don't agree with it because the ball came right into Charlie. There was no way for him to go anywhere. A referee is not looking at me, but I'm giving him a double thumbs down, actually. 2.
I'll give him 2, too.
Okay.
See, that's where Emmett's...
And Charlie is asking for an avoidable there, and that was more of an avoidable than what Charlie did.
Because he hit it back into him and didn't move.
Right.
2-4.
You know, it's very rare to see Charlie say anything in the court.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. He keeps himself mentally composed, you know, and I think that's a big reason why he's so successful. He doesn't let the ref really get to him, but we'll have to see.
That's a terrible shot from Charlie. And that's a nice dig from Charlie. And Charlie is so long that he seems to get to everything also. I mean, it's like he's not running fast, but he gets everything. Now, Charlie's the kind of guy that's not going to really give you that much information unless he's complaining about something, at which point he'll never stop talking. But, you know, his fiance and my wife were hanging out all last weekend, and she said, you know, the way Charlie was taught and the way all the Irish handball players were taught is you don't show any emotion on the court. And he gets strength from his opponent yelling, or when he sees his opponent upset, that actually gives him strength. So,
and that's a big thing, I think, with the top tier players, and the mental frustration of the other player really is only beneficial to the other one. Wow.
Charlie just rips over the top of that ball. That's a tough shot.
That was a great get by Emmett in this corner.
Well, you know, when Emmett throws the ball into the back wall, it hits the front one, has a kind of an overspin, so it bounces up, gets high on you, and Charlie just came so hard over top of the shot that it killed it right off the middle of the front wall. Charlie's serve looks amazing right now.
That's what he wants to do, is serve and shoot. Doesn't leave the service box, and he stays there and shoots in the left corner. Ooh.
Surprising. He was in a great position to hit that shot, and then Emmett hits a beautiful back wall shot. That's Emmett's first right-hand kill of this match. Emmett, I've noticed, Anthony, I don't know if this has happened in the matches you've played him. I think you've played him 3 times now this season, but he seems to have a lot of equipment issues with his gloves. He's always fiddling with his gloves. He's wearing liners, and he's not wearing liners. Then he's wanting to change the gloves because they don't fit right. I mean, I'm not sure I've seen. Is that sort of some sort of OCD type thing, or is this? I don't understand it.
He thinks he needs to keep his hands warm. He was saying that he wears the underliner to warm his hands up, and then when his hands warm up, then he takes them off. But you're right. He's been very picky with his gloves.
Yeah. You know, I've actually worn only 1 pair of gloves this whole season. They're completely ripped in the fingers on the back, but I just am comfortable.
Style. It's your style.
Yeah. I mean, I know how they fit, and I'm comfortable. So, and I wear the liners, so the gloves don't really sweat. But I am one of these guys that's very particular with my equipment, but Emmett just fools with those gloves all the time. But there's a shot that Emmett would like to have made. Seemed like he was a little bit back on his heels there. I think if he was leaning forward on the balls of his feet, that's a pickup he'll make and re-kill.
And that's gonna be one thing that he's gonna have to do, is when Charlie shoots like that, he's gonna have to try to dig those balls a little bit when there's a tough back wall.
Well, that was a good return from Emmett, because he kept that off the back wall, even though Charlie tried to play it off the back wall. And just returning these serves from Charlie right now is a challenge. Emmett will just have to hope that Charlie slows down a little bit on his serve.
Ooh.
And that's just not a good shot there from Emmett. And I think that's more of a habit than anything, with Emmett grabbing his shoulder there. I'm not sure that hurt. But he just stood straight up on that shot. Didn't look real comfortable.
Well, you'd see that's beautiful serve by Charlie. Looked like he was going right and brought it left.
Yeah. Well, we've seen some incredible serving. I mean, I know you weren't here. You were off-site playing in the 9 through 12 playoffs, but Luis Moreno just put on a serving clinic. I'm not sure I've ever seen like it. I mean, not only was he head faking Aaron Garner, had Aaron Garner leading the wrong way every time, but the serves were unreturnable. Even if he told Aaron Garner, I'm going to put it right in this spot, you still couldn't have returned it. I mean, it was just absolutely incredible.
And that's how he was last tournament as well against even Charlie. Well, we saw that with a 3-minute and 50-second match, and then in the finals against Sean. You see Emmett going to a slower lob serve here.
And that was good, by the way. I'm right here on the short line, Anthony, and that just cleared it. I know my other partner would disagree with me. There's a nice razzle-dazzle there. But
see, that's a rare shot by Emmett, I think. I feel that he's really, when he shoots his left corner, that left straight, that's when he's his best.
But look at what Charlie did there. He kept the rally alive by making 2 great gets, and then Emmett puts a very easy shot on the floor. You know, it seems to me, and having known Emmett for a long time, he's having more fun now on the court. I mean, Emmett was a guy that, you know, I'm not going to say he complained a lot, or, you know, but he had a tendency to get upset with himself, and didn't seem like he was enjoying himself. Now he's just here, I think, and maybe you can relate to this, having shoulder surgery. You come back after that injury and just kind of like, I just love being here now.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I feel good. My shoulder doesn't hurt anymore. I've been out of the game for so long. This is just fun to be here. You know, and that's a great attitude. I think that's a big reason Emmett's playing so well.
And I totally agree with you, Dave. That's a big reason. That, you know, he even said himself, he goes, I'm just glad to be out here right now.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not playing the best to my ability, I'm just glad to be out here. He says he's going to break into that top 4, hopefully.
Well, he'll need a win here today to move up there. But, you know, you see Emmett going to the ceiling there. He's got a very nice ceiling game.
Both hands, beautiful. So does
This is
Charlie.
the kind of game, yeah, definitely. But this is the kind of game Emmett wants to play because even though Charlie also can go to the roof well, it takes Charlie out of his rhythm, which is sort of that ground and pound style that Charlie likes to play.
That fast pace. Oh, look at
Great
that.
shot from Charlie. Emmett, I thought, hit a perfect kill there off the back wall, but Charlie in with the paddle re-kill.
You know what? What I found, though, the ball stays up
Hmm.
very well here. I mean, even off the back, it gives a little bounce off the back, and maybe it's because of the altitude, but he's able to return a lot of the the serves or gets. Wow, nice try.
I didn't
That
find
Emmett
that
shoots.
to be a problem today
You did it.
in my match. No, I did
Well, you
not.
just must have flat killed everything.
I was what they call en fuego.
Woo-hoo. Beautiful.
It felt good, and getting back to what you were talking about, just being happy to be out there. I've been injured, for the last 5 months, and now I'm finally healthy, and it's just so much fun. And Charlie overhits that shot. Just so much fun to be out here and knowing you can compete without worrying about your injuries and not being able to move the way you want to and swing the way you want to. So
Yeah, it looks good to me.
Charlie with a terrible air there.
Yeah,
Anthony.
Charlie's appealing Emmett's get up front.
Both agree.
It looked like he got it.
Side out.
I'm actually looking down the court and I couldn't see it. I'm blocked off from about 20% of the court.
Emmett does not want to do that serve
No.
against Charlie.
And Charlie now with 2 terrible unforced errors in a row. I mean, those are 2 rallies he should have won, and that makes a big difference here when Charlie could be up 8-2. Instead, Emmett's serving at 3-7. And that's just how these matches go.
Yep.
A couple breaks here and there, and it makes a big difference. Here's Charlie's shot.
This is revolving door. And
Great get there from Emmett. And Emmett has the ability to make gets, but also not set you up with the get.
that's the thing he did. Oh, beautiful shot.
Yeah.
That's the thing he does very well. Like you said, he doesn't set you up. He'll get everything, but he'll
Mhm.
throw it up.
Yeah.
So you're not able to stand up front and kill it,
Yeah.
or he's going to try to deep pass you. And he does that extremely well.
You see guys that make gets, but then it's a setup, so it's, kind of what's the point?
Right.
8-3.
8 plays 3. Beautiful serve down the right. If he can keep it to that wall, that's going to be a tough return for Emmett all day. Can you see that from here, where you're sitting?
I
Or is it
actually
tough?
can't. I actually cannot see the right side wall, but
Right.
I get a good feel just by seeing the contact. But Charlie's just completely in the groove right now with this serve, and Emmett's doing well just to return these serves and actually get himself into these rallies.
See, I feel that when Emmett has a setup like that, he has to put it away. Otherwise, you see what's going to happen.
See, this is the kind of match, Anthony, as an announcer and as a fan, I love to watch this matchup because they do go back and forth. You see so many of the matches, and it's, the same guy wins every time, And this is a matchup where truly you don't know who's going to win. I mean, Charlie had the best of Emmett last year. Emmett beat Charlie easily here in Tucson in November, and now here it is, Charlie sort of putting it on Emmett early here in this match. But that's what makes sports exciting, and I think that's what's great about having Emmett back in the mix is that he has big wins over Sean Lenny. He has wins over Luis Moreno. He's beat Charlie Shanks, and he's also lost to them. So when he plays these guys, you don't know who's going to win. I mean, Emmett's got the kind of game that can beat him, but they also have the kind of offensive game that can just sort of blow him off the court because Emmett's more of kind of like a rallier, and he likes to slow the game down. But if these guys are hot, I feel like Emmett has a world of trouble to try and overcome. But if Emmett gets them just a little tired, or maybe they're 10% off that day, you'll see Emmett sort of take over and dominate.
I agree with you 100%. Well, we saw that last week, though. I talked to Emmett about that, how facing the junk, facing the hop, the real good players, like you said, keeps you off balance. And then when you're off balance, you're mentally kind of frustrated,
Yeah.
and it just kind of takes you out of your game. So if Charlie keeps him off balance and back, it could be a quicker game than we anticipate. But
Charlie is so fit. You talk to guys at the New York Athletic Club where he trains, and Charlie will never tell you this, of course, but he's there at the club every day training. I mean, he's in the court hitting serves for 2 hours sometimes just by himself, and then he'll go down to the gym and he'll do wind sprints for an hour. He played Mike Schneider one time in a practice game, beat him, pretty bad in 2 games. And he said, "Let's go. We're going down to the gym. We're going to go do some sprints." And Mike said, "No, I'm going to the bar." But, you know,
But
that's what Charlie Shanks is doing.
Yeah.
And this guy is very focused. And you have to remember, Charlie Shanks moved here from Ireland. He works for IBM. He works from home, so he can work from anywhere.
mm-hmm.
So he chose to come to the United States because he wanted to dedicate himself and see how good he can be. And I think you can't get any better than #1 in the world.
No,
I mean,
and you're absolutely right. But that's what separates the pros from the Joes. You know,
Yeah.
that extra commitment, that time spent in the gym,
Yeah.
those extra hours serving, practicing your serve, then running wind sprints. So
you know, champions are made when no one's looking.
you're exactly right, Muhammad Ali. Or who said that, right?
I believe it was. I saw that on a Twitter feed, famous sports quotations.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it is good. I'll have to send you that link. I know you're a Twitterer.
Oh, yeah. Try to stay up with the media. Look at this. 4 shots down the left. And last match, Emmett was shooting those and putting them down.
You know, Charlie he's very competitive. And I know he knows that Emmett crushed him in Tucson. And, you know, you don't want to make excuses for Charlie, but that was 2 weeks after he just made the finals of the U.S. Open. He got stuck in California in his hotel for 5 days after that event. He was supposed to leave on Sunday night, but they had the Hurricane Sandy, so the flights were canceled. He got home to his place in New Jersey, and he didn't have power the whole time he was home, and then flew to Tucson about 7, 8 days later. Hadn't touched the handball, hadn't been able to work out.
Right. Well, that does a lot to one's game. I feel, and I don't know who I was talking to yesterday, a gentleman downstairs, but if you play more, it was actually Mr. Net, John
Okay.
Net. He was saying how he feels better when he plays couple days in a row.
Yeah.
Maybe not 5, but a couple days in a row, your body just kind of feels good. You're consistent in all your shots. So you're definitely right. That could have played a huge role for him in that match. But no excuses. Oh, look at that. Ooh.
That was a perfect looking shot. Pretty good serve from Emmett, and Charlie misses that by an inch. As a player, Anthony, when your opponent has such a good swing and misses the shot just barely, do you hesitate to going back to that serve? Do you feel like, well, I'm pretty lucky here that he missed that because it was a perfect swing?
You know what? Yeah, that's the mental toughness in an individual. You know, do you go back to your bread and butter, or do you go back, to that sort of? Just letting them play here.
Here's a big setup for Emmett. Great shot from Emmett. Perfectly placed 2-ball pass.
Emmett scored 3.
And this is huge going into halftime. Emmett does not want to go into halftime down 15-3. Now, he may not go into halftime with the lead, but he's going to go in feeling like I can do some damage. Not a good shot there from Emmett. And Charlie resets the action with a great left fist.
That's one thing Charlie does. He's going to try to, look at that. Take someone out, slow the game down, get it back so he can possibly get himself the shot he wants. Smart timeout by Charlie here.
Emmett's getting his clown routine going now, Anthony, which some people like and some people don't. But, hate it or love it, it gets a reaction.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
So
But you know what? I think it's good for the sport. We need some clowns on the court. So,
I mean, we've got a heartthrob. So, now we need a clown.
Yeah,
and it looks
the
like,
clown.
Yeah. And, Emmett is notoriously a slow starter. And, you saw a combination of maybe Emmett starting a little bit slowly and Charlie starting really, really hot. There's people at home that haven't played these formats and they think, well, you get off to a bad start, it's over. Not really, though. And you've played in enough of these matches now where 25 is a mountain. I mean, it's a long way to get there.
It's a journey.
Yeah. And there's halftime. There's all kinds of things that can change momentum. And, we've seen guys fall behind by 10 points and come back and tie the score and win. And, if you're playing somebody that just blitzes you, you were going to lose in 2 games anyway.
Right,
so what's,
Yeah, no, but Emmett, you're absolutely right. He is a slow starter. A couple times I've played him, I think I had pretty good leads, 5, 6-point leads. And surely, one by one, he's picked his way back. And so
7-13.
Emmett's slowing the game down a little bit here. But
Emmett has a very good lob serve. And, you think, well, anybody can just lob it in there, but he's got the right touch on it so that, and unfortunate there for Emmett, as that ball just stayed down.
Charlie missed his
That's
shot
an amazing rally there. Both guys, incredible action.
You heard the the fans clap for that one.
8-13.
Wonderful hospitality and a great crowd here in Denver, Colorado.
Absolutely right. The crowd is really filling in. We've got guys on the top balcony, the lower balcony, over here on the sidewall. And Anthony, think about this turnaround. Charlie was up 13-3. He lost that rally, could have won that rally, would have been up 14-3. Since then, he hasn't served.
That's what you got to do. If you can keep Charlie out of the service box, you are going to do okay.
And that would not have made it.
And we'll see what Shorty says.
Replay that.
Okay. I didn't think it was going to make it. I'm watching from up above, and it doesn't seem to be any argument from either guy, so maybe I'm wrong.
Well, to be honest with you, I didn't really see it on here.
Okay.
Oh, tough.
Charlie didn't put enough reverse on that, though. And Emmett's doing what Emmett does. He's Peixoting Shanks right now. He's getting to everything, and he slowed the game down.
It's frustrating as a player. And that's where, oh.
Replay.
That's one of Emmett's best shots. That revolving door, he brings it, he loves to shoot it straight down the left wall.
Yeah.
And you saw it caught Charlie's shorts right there, so.
And do you think maybe there should be a rule change in handball where if it just barely brushes, you know, your shorts coming in, but it was a shot that you had no chance to get and it didn't affect the shot, that should just count?
No, well, no, because you never know. I don't know if that might have made that ball go flat.
Well, I don't think so. I mean,
Okay,
Charlie was just nowhere near that shot.
Oh, and I agree with you. If Charlie's nowhere near it, well, there's some talk, but oh, look at that. Beautiful serve. But I don't know. That's a tough one it's a good question to ask. Maybe you'd have to ask a bunch of other people. But I think if it hits you, you got to do it over no matter what. Emmett the Rock taking each point as they come.
And there's a miss hit from Charlie. Emmett there to capitalize. Charlie goes behind Emmett.
Oh, look at that
amazing get. How does he get that, Anthony?
He threw it off the back wall with his left, which is beautiful. And then you see frustrating Charlie. Charlie floors that ball.
12-13.
This reminds me of a match I watched Emmett play against Paul Brady in 2008, Anthony. I know you like to go back in time. Paul Brady was up on Emmett 13-0, and this is Paul Brady, you know, in his prime. Emmett came back and scored 13 points in a row. It looked like, you know, Emmett was going to go on and win that match. He didn't, but this is just the kind of thing Emmett can do when he slows the game down and kind of gets into his rhythm. 10 straight points now for Emmett Peixoto after trailing 13-3. And Charlie now all out of sorts.
He keeps setting him up. Oh, wow. Nice get by Charlie there.
And Charlie
the
left the fist pump up for Emmett to see it. Kind of like, you know what, I'm not sorry. It was lucky, and I'm happy about it.
Yeah, well, sometimes, you know what, luck is part of the game, I think.
Look at that serve.
Serve, probably good. Both agree. Point.
I think Emmett thought that it took off on the line, but I think Charlie hit that with so much spin that it hit the floor and just took off.
You know what, as a referee, those are some of the hardest serves to call because of how fast they go over the service line. Oh, look at that.
I just can't believe these gets that Emmett's making. I mean, Emmett doesn't get that one. Really great first half of handball right there. I mean, that is the most competitive and highest level of play we've seen thus far at the Denver Athletic Club, and I'm not surprised because, you know, these guys are two of the absolute class players in the tour, in the sport. And both guys have the ability to go on runs. Both guys can play offense with both hands. Anthony, we're going to take a quick 2.5-minute break here during halftime. We're going to come back for the second half, the conclusion of this match. It's a great one. You stay tuned.
NFC, AFC, offensive linemen, defensive tackles, quarterbacks, and cornerbacks are all living united to ensure the academic success of millions of kids in our communities all the way to graduation day. But that won't happen without you. So take the pledge at unitedway.org. Make a difference in the life of a child. Suit up like your favorite NFL players and become a volunteer reader, tutor, or mentor with United Way.
My name is Bruce Fabrizio. In 1975, I invented Simple Green based on 3 principles. It had to be safer to use, it had to work, and it had to be completely made in America. From generation to generation, Simple Green has been cleaning everything from car engines and tools to kitchen counters and floors. No matter what you clean, indoors or outdoors, clean it with non-toxic, biodegradable Simple Green.
It's Timothy Green's first day at school.
What's in there? He's about to fall over.
Anything he might need. There's a box of tissues on the bottom and some Band-Aids. There's a whole first aid kit, actually.
Mom, I can handle it from here.
You don't have to be perfect
Have a great day.
It's too much pressure.
Have the day you have.
to be a perfect parent.
There are 2 people in the world who want you more than anything. They'll make some mistakes, but they will love you more than you can ever imagine.
There are thousands of children in foster care who will take you just as you are.
Time in, guys.
Welcome back for the second half here of the last quarterfinal of the day here at the Denver Athletic Club. I'm David Fink alongside top 12 pro Anthony the Teen Heartthrob Celesto. Anthony, everyone's heard a lot about you. Now they're getting to hear you. I know you've done some announcing in the past, but nice to have you in the booth coming off a 10th place finish here at this stop, which is a very respectable result. You officially qualified for the first time and then defeated Mike Schneider today in the first round of the playoffs and then lost to John Iglesias. That was over at another site. Would have liked to have seen those matches, but congratulations on a good result. Here it's Charlie Shanks, who was up 13-3. Emmett tied the score at 13, and
Tough, oh, beautiful. Look at that. Tough gets, and then this is a great rally to start the second
it's
half.
incredible, unbelievable. Here's Charlie's best shot, and he drills it. Emmett has to respect the right corner there. Charlie sees that, and he takes the ball around his body and still hits it hard and
Flat
low.
kills it, yep.
Yeah. And he comes over, he had to reverse that because if he doesn't reverse it, bounces into the sidewall, and Emmett's going to keep that alive.
16-13.
I believe, particularly in a close match, very important to win the first point coming out of halftime.
Yeah, it's a big momentum.
Yeah.
You know, it's a big momentum for yourself.
Emmett with a great 3-ball shot there. I think Charlie a little impatient there. Should have thrown that ball back around the walls. Instead, he tried to shoot it. Looks like Emmett might lob serve the right here. Okay, Emmett goes to the lob court down the left,
look at
and
that.
Charlie with a terrible air. Really an ugly looking air there.
14-16.
That corner can be trouble sometimes.
Well, I don't think Charlie's playing the right shot off the back wall there. I actually don't think you can let that lob serve get to the back wall because with Emmett in the front court, it's very difficult to shoot the ball.
Oh, and then
Hold it, contact.
it's a good call.
Emmett actually yelled that out, the contact. Didn't even try to play that.
14-16.
It's a good, I was going to say it's a good lob serve from.
Great get from Emmett. And another great get.
Oh,
He got that, actually, Anthony. I'm right here looking down on the court, and he did pick that ball up. I'm getting confirmation now that he didn't pick it up, so I guess my eye's playing tricks on me.
But you know what, though? There's been a couple like that today. I told Abe, went over at the other court. There was a shot that John hit, and Abe picked it up. But he called 2 bounces before he even hit it, and it wasn't. And it was a big change. I mean, He was at 15, I think 14 or 15.
I see that a lot. I see guys calling double bounces that aren't double bounces. And, you know, I think as a player, if you're not sure, you probably have to call two. I mean, is that what you would do?
Absolutely.
Okay.
You know, being an honest player, I think that's really what it comes down to. And, you know, you'd feel bad if all of a sudden you didn't get it. Tough.
Amazing shot. How does Emmett get to that? Come on. Come on.
Oh, Jesus. Nice.
Emmett
nice
should have
play.
had that last one. But, you know, it's kind of like in golf, Anthony, you know, and we'll listen to Emmett complain here. It's not a good sign.
Watching him.
I don't know what he was complaining
Emmett's
about.
frustrated there. I think he thought Charlie screened him.
18-14.
But, you know, in golf, if you're not sure if it's a penalty, if you're not sure if your ball moved on the green, you have to call it on yourself.
Right,
you
you're
know?
absolutely right.
And I think it's kind of the same philosophy with that double bounce.
Oh, and you see Emmett with a rare miss there.
This all changed when Charlie hit that lucky shot at 13-13, Anthony, and since then Emmett has not been able to do anything.
That can be a big, like you said, it can just be a big momentum swing and a big punch in the stomach.
And you know, you can say, and people watching might say, well, you know, one shot doesn't win a match. But when you got guys that are so evenly matched, one shot makes a huge difference, particularly when you've got momentum.
See, and that's Emmett's best shot, I believe. Is that straight down the wall.
14-19.
I think Emmett looked up at the booth for approval on that last shot, Anthony.
I don't know. I didn't see him, but maybe you probably saw him with your courtside appearance.
Dave Vincent actually told me when you
beautiful.
were. That was a great shot. You know, these players know who's announcing. They know that Dave and I are announcing, and when they play us, they're giving it a little bit more because, you know, they say, look, these guys will be talking about me. I have to show them something. And I feel like I know as a player, I'm looking up at the booth when I hit a good shot sometimes.
And I agree with you. I do the same thing. Well, I don't know if it's necessarily the reassurance of the good shot or, you know, hey, I did this, but it's just one of those, maybe it's because I sit in here with you guys sometimes, but I do the same. I will look up at the booth and, you know, wait for a little acknowledgement if be.
Charlie does not have a great fly kill with his left hand, and he goes for it a lot. Not a great shot from Emmett there. Emmett's got to put that away.
That's a great return to the left. I thought it was a little closer to the wall.
Still a good shot, though. There's a setup for Emmett.
Emmett might complain there that he had to move out of it, change his own shot.
Emmett really hit that ball hard. Put his whole body into that last shot with his left hand. Great torque.
You can see he's a little fatigued.
Well, let's not forget, Emmett did fly in this morning. He's had no preparation.
And little sleep from his gig last night.
Well, that actually is about the amount of sleep Emmett prefers, which is none. I've lived with him for a number of months, and I can tell you, he actually sleeps during the afternoon.
Ooh, and Emmett wanted that one.
He sleeps actually on couches during
events.
Football parties. You know, he'll just be on the couch sleeping. That's kind of when his schedule works out for him.
And whenever it's convenient for him, he likes to catch his.
But when you're sleeping, he likes to
keep you up.
Perform a concert with the guitar. But let's get back to the action here. I know that you're very interested in that, but it's now Emmett serving at 15-19 after scoring 10 consecutive points, outscoring Charlie 10-0 after trailing 13-3. Charlie has now scored 6 of the last 9 points.
16-19.
See Emmett going back to that little slow game. And, you know, he did that serve against me, and I thought it was pretty effective, not really giving you anything off the back wall or anything and making you make an awkward shot on the serve. A tough shot by
Emmett's got to do more there with his right hand. Charlie's able to reset the rally here.
Goes back to the ceiling.
These guys both have just brilliant ceiling games. Emmett was schooled by Dave Chapman, Anthony. I'm not sure if you knew that, but the first year Emmett started playing, he was about 12 years old. He went to Dave Chapman's camp in Las Vegas. And, you know, Dave's always been a mentor and kind of an idol to Emmett. And Emmett's kind of modeled his game after him. Now, he doesn't play exactly like Dave, but he did incorporate that lob serve in the ceiling game. But, you know, Emmett's kind of a hybrid between a Dave Chapman and I would say a Tony Healy almost, mixed in with a little bit of Luis Moreno. So it's a big hodgepodge hodgepodge, I think you would call that.
I was going to say, I don't know a word for that, but that's a good one. Hodgepodge. Tough.
Great shot there.
You see Emmett starting to feel good. Make a little comeback. Charlie, a little fatigued, mentally frustrated.
17-19.
What a match this is, Anthony. 17-19. I'm expecting
overtime.
Well, I think this match will be decided by 2 points, put it that way, whether it's 25-23 or overtime. I believe maybe Charlie has a case there. As Emmett made no attempt to get out of the way. He knew he was in a bad spot there.
But as a player, sometimes you don't know where the player is behind you, and you think you're going to go one way, and
Charlie took his anger out on that shot. Actually, just gave Emmett a big setup, and Emmett misses it. Charlie hits a big hop with his left hand off the bounce, but Emmett reads that hop, and that's not going to bother a guy like Emmett Peixoto. He knows that big reverse is coming. Great return from Emmett. That's an open hand fist to the ceiling. I know that's a shot you have with your left, Anthony.
Yeah,
I don't even understand that shot. I'd like you to show it to me sometime.
It's very effective.
Yes.
But I learned that from Tony Krocek back home.
Okay.
17-19.
Charlie's just got such a great left fist to the ceiling.
Beautiful.
It's just perfect control.
Charlie's trying to shoot some balls that it really don't seem like he's normally shooting. Oh, wow.
And think about the strength there. That ball comes across Charlie's body there. He takes it with his right and fires it back down the left with pace and an inch high. Now he takes a timeout. But I don't know if we can take an instant replay of that last shot from Charlie Shanks, but that's a very difficult shot.
That was a smart shot.
Yeah, particularly when you know you're playing against a guy that's going to track down every shot. And Charlie just flattens that ball out. The winner of this match, Anthony, will take on Luis Moreno, who's the hottest guy in handball right now. I mean, Luis Moreno won the last event, spending just 34 minutes on the court in his semifinal and final matches. And watch this shot here from Charlie. It's going to be
nice
a couple shots. I think Emmett shoots the left corner here. And now Charlie off balance, open stance.
Yep,
he's got enough strength with that open stance. Now, obviously, you're taught to square yourself up, but sometimes you don't have time when that ball is coming at you and it catches the corner. And that's a beautiful shot from Charlie. Emmett will need some more of those right-hand kills that he's practicing right now.
Sometimes I always joke with the players when I'm in the court with them and they're in the warm-ups and they're flat killing them. I said, you got to save those. I said, you don't want to burn them all up now.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
10 seconds.
I'm a firm believer, Anthony, and I know a lot of people would disagree with me, but I don't believe in bouncing the ball and hitting it. I just don't think that serves any purpose. You're never going to do that in a match. I like to throw the ball off the wall and work on it. Yeah. Or hit the ball to the ceiling, then hit the next couple to the ceiling.
That's not a bad theory.
You wouldn't see a tennis player go out and warm up by bouncing the ball to himself and hitting it to an empty court. I mean, they've got a guy hitting it back to him. Now in handball, you can actually practice by yourself because the ball comes off the wall right to you.
Right.
In tennis, you'd have to obviously go and hit against the wall. But back to the action here. That was a timeout, I believe, from Charlie Shanks.
Smart timeout there.
In studies we've done, the guy who's called a timeout after losing a rally has come back in and lost 78% of the next rallies. And not that time. That was one of the 22%ers.
And yesterday, it's funny you say that because John Bike yesterday, after he made one of those, he looked up at you guys and he said, that's the 22% that I'm talking
But we don't count John Bike because he's left-handed. Everything's opposite for a lefty.
Okay. So are you in that category as well? Or?
Well, I actually lose 100% of the points after I call a timeout and come in. I actually lose the next rally 100%.
It's
so
not even worth it.
I'm what you call an anomaly. I don't know if that's because I'm left-handed or...
I think so.
Okay. I actually did win one today, though, so I'm going to say that it's not 100. I don't want to exaggerate now.
99.5.
Yes.
A beautiful serve down the right there.
Amazing serve, and now this match is... that was definitely good.
Both agree.
Yeah.
Both agree was short.
Whoa. That it was short?
Oh, okay.
Second serve.
And I was just about to say Charlie pulling away, but at 21-17, he's not yet pulling away. He would need to be, I believe, at 22 before I can say now that he's starting to pull away. Emmett's not out of this match. And, smart timeout there from Emmett. But, you can sense now that Charlie Shanks is feeling it. He's kind of adjusted to Emmett's slow game, and he's also applying the ground and pound style that Emmett, is not really liking right now.
And I don't know what if Emmett made a comment when he walked out the court. I saw a reaction from some of the fans, but probably a little frustrated with himself.
Well, you know, I think Emmett will look back on this match and say, you know, I haven't played terrible, but I've missed some opportunities. You know, we've seen him miss opportunities with his left hand. We've seen him miss a couple with his right where he just didn't put them away the way he would have liked to. And, you know, Charlie's got a 5-point lead. You substitute a kill shot for an air here and there, and we could be talking about a 19-19 match. But as it stands, Emmett's now got an uphill climb.
Yep.
Charlie's in the service box. You know, he's leading 22-17. Emmett's been outplayed here in the second half. I mean, pretty substantially. It's almost the way the first half went, where Charlie took a 13-3 lead. We went to halftime 15-13 with Charlie leading. Now Charlie's outscored Emmett 7-2.
Yeah, and you ever since that the get on the side
yeah.
wall, I mean, that kind of was a big momentum change.
Since then, it's been 9-2.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, and at that time, Emmett had scored 10 consecutive points. So that's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. And you know, you play against a guy as good as Charlie, a break like that will make a difference.
Yep.
And it's not like Charlie's giving Emmett anything. I mean, I think Charlie's only skipped 2 balls in this entire match.
Short. Second serve. Replay.
Hey, how are you?
22-17.
Throw it on. We have a special guest appearance from Lauren, that works here at the
Feel it? It's all good.
club.
Lauren, are you the athletic director here? What is your title here?
I'm the director of marketing.
Oh, okay.
And
Well,
membership.
all right.
Yeah. So no, I don't do anything athletic.
All right, well,
except play.
It's wonderful to have you here, Lauren. Right now we're in our last men's quarterfinal match of the day. This is the #1 ranked pro in the world, serving Charlie Shanks to a former #1 Emmett Peixoto. This has been an amazing match. They're playing a 1-game match to 25. Of course, Emmett looks like he might be on his way home, but you know, we've seen crazier things happen. But Lauren, we want to, and that's a terrible air there. Lauren, we want to thank you for letting us play here at this amazing club here, the Denver Athletic Club. I mean, this is certainly one of the finest facilities I've ever been to in my life. And, you know, we travel every couple of weeks. I've never seen anything like this. The staff is absolutely incredible. I was talking to a couple of members actually last night. I said, if I lived in Denver or anywhere near here, I'd be a member here. I mean,
thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you. Well, it's really a privilege to have all of you here too.
18-23.
This is so exciting. The game, you know, it clearly, you know, it takes so much strategy as well as physical presence. You know, it's really fun to watch, and we're really glad to have you here.
Thank you for joining us. A beautiful shot by Emmett there down the left wall.
well, it was Charlie Shanks that made a terrible back wall error. He would have been up 24-17. Instead, Emmett now coming back in. We need to have that back wall wipe there, as you can see that there's some
Set up for
sweat.
Emmett.
That's a good shot from Emmett. Charlie unable to dig it out. And now we might see a timeout from Charlie Shanks.
Both players physically exhausted here.
20-23.
Is this your first handball tournament?
It
you've
is.
seen?
It is. I've been anticipating this for some time now, and
Very cool.
yeah, I think it's been about 3 or 4 years since the last one that we hosted here at the DAC. I don't know if any of your audience is in the Denver area, but we're a private club, but we are opening up the club for public spectators to come.
Oh, very nice.
So it's a great opportunity. Oh, cool.
And Lauren, are you watching the human acrobat here, Emmett Peixoto? I mean, this guy is doing somersaults all over this court, keeping these rallies alive.
21-23.
Absolutely incredible. And this is exactly what we expected here. And this is, I'm sure, what you hoped for when you found out we were bringing the best players in the world here.
That's exactly right. It's incredible.
Notice one thing, Emmett's keeping Charlie in the back court now and not letting him get up front.
Great shot from
soon.
Charlie. And Lauren, that's what would be considered his offhand. He's a right-handed guy, and you see that swing with his left hand. Now he takes a timeout here. But, you know, this truly is like a physical chess match. I mean, you need to be so fit, but also thinking the entire time. But Lauren, talk a little bit about what you do here and what members here are able to gain from, you know, their membership here at this amazing club, the Denver Athletic Club.
Well, you know, the Denver Athletic Club was established in 1884 the club was built before the state capitol. So we've been in Denver since the beginning. It was founded by a hardware store owner and a bike store owner, if you can imagine that, in the late 19th century. And so it's always been the place for athletics and social gatherings. You know, we're right in the urban environment, so we have a pretty diverse membership of families and people of all ages. We have more than 300,000 square feet of space here, including the racquetball, handball facility that you're seeing, and a squash center where we're also having a major tournament right now, the Hashim Khan International Squash Tournament.
I'd like to check that out. I've heard about it, and I haven't had a chance to head over there, but
So,
I'm looking forward to it.
swimming pool, we have the longest operating bowling alley west of the Mississippi. Yoga, CrossFit.
You name it.
Lots of group exercise. So everything athletic you can imagine that our members enjoy, as well as social events. We even have an art opening tonight with 6 local artists. So
Very nice.
Coming back into.
quite as exciting as this.
Sorry to interrupt you there, Lauren,
Go
but Charlie Shanks, 2 points from winning this match. He catches that crack there, and that's overhit. Emmett will have a look at this. Another setup here for Charlie. That's his best shot, and Emmett picks it up somehow. How does he do that, Lauren?
I am just trying to follow the ball.
Ooh, that's a tough call right
really
there.
incredible.
Oh, I think that should have been called a hinder for sure.
And then Charlie's going to put it away. Ooh. Look at this.
Will
Great
Emmett
rally.
shoot this? He goes for the pass. Charlie leaves that ball way up. An amazing get from Charlie.
See ya.
Oh.
See Emmett frustrated with Shorty on that call. He wanted that.
But you think Emmett would be happy. He ended up winning that rally. I don't know what there is to complain about, but it was an obvious screen. And the ball went right across Charlie's body. Emmett never saw it. He put his hands up like you're supposed to do as a player, and the referee did not give him a call. Fortunately for Emmett, though, he was able to hang into that rally and earn the side out.
21-23.
You know what, Dave? On this left corner serve, I was going to say, if he catches that left corner, there's a little moisture there. He might get a slide or something.
Oh, terrible shot there from Emmett. But it stays right on the wall. I'm surprised Emmett took that out of the air. Oh, how does Emmett get that? And Charlie does not. Oh, and how does Emmett miss that shot? That was the best look that Emmett's had. He's got to be exhausted. Lauren, we're not used to playing at 5,000 feet of altitude. Most of us live at sea level, and I'll tell you, it's hard to get air into your lungs here.
That's true. They say it takes up to 3 months to really acclimate, and then you lose it. If we go down to low altitude, they say it only takes 3 days to lose that edge. So anyway, take everybody down to Houston, Texas before the tournament and maybe to even it out. But people do struggle when they come in from out of town.
And
these guys look pretty fast to me, though.
We rarely see Charlie Shanks dive. He did dive there.
21-23.
It's because he usually doesn't have to.
Okay.
You know, he positions himself well enough where he doesn't have to dive, or he flat kills it. So.
And look at that amazing left fist to the ceiling. It's just a shot of perfection. And now he's buried Emmett back in that left corner. Here's a big setup. And he skips it. Unbelievable. Charlie Shanks lets that ball get a little bit behind him. Didn't get his legs into that shot. He tried to feather the corner anyway. Thought maybe when he realized he was a little off balance, he would have thrown that ball around the walls in a 3-wall shot, but he didn't.
So it could be a setup for Emmett. I thought it was 23-23, but
it's now 23-23.
Emmett with the momentum on his side.
23-23.
This is one of the best matches we've seen this season. When you combine the drama and the level of play.
Setup.
And Emmett read that perfectly.
Was that two bounces?
Emmett skipped that.
Oh, it didn't make it?
No.
Oh, it looked like it made it for
Okay.
him.
I think it hit about a foot before the wall.
I got bad eyes.
Okay. I'm actually trying to watch the screen and the actual match to my right. Lauren, you have to win.
So fast.
Yeah.
Even as a spectator, I'm having a hard time following. So.
You have to win by 2 here. Charlie Shanks will win this match, Lauren, if he wins this next rally. You have to serve to score.
It's a point. Emmett did appeal that, but it was a smart appeal because if he would have won it, then it's away from game point. Missed shot by Charlie, puts it right back down the middle.
And Charlie's a little impatient in this rally.
Probably anxious.
Mhm.
Doesn't want to be in the court much longer with them. I don't blame him. Oh.
And Charlie hits that with the back of his hand? What just happened there, Anthony?
I don't know. It looked like it came off funny, and he didn't.
Wait, he didn't anticipate that spin off the left side wall.
Might have caught that wet.
Very hard to believe there. That was not a difficult shot. I think Charlie just froze mentally there.
Was thinking he was going to do something different.
Charlie has a way, though, particularly the new Charlie Shanks, of really raising his game late in matches when he needs it. I'm nervous just watching this, Anthony.
My hands are sweating.
Okay.
So you're not the only one. Oh, beautiful kill.
Amazing shot. Now we're guaranteed to go into overtime.
And you see the crowd getting into it now more and more. Some slaps on the glass and some applause.
So both players will have to score at least 26 to win this match. Another setup for Emmett.
Did I not call? I was feeling an overtime.
Okay.
Revolving Dorcia. Oh gosh, great get.
Another great get from Emmett, and here's a huge setup. Why doesn't Emmett let that come off the back wall?
You know what? The reason why, Dave, is because he likes to keep players off balance like that.
Okay.
That's one of his favorite shots is the tomahawk, overhand tomahawk. Oh. Now we see reverse rolls.
Emmett faced match point. Now he'll have match point.
This would be a huge victory for Emmett.
Absolutely. Incredible performance thus far. Both guys.
When was the last time Emmett made it to the
Emmett was in the semifinals in Tucson, actually. Beat Charlie Shanks there also in the quarterfinals.
Oh.
And that's exactly the shot that Charlie Shanks hit against me when I had him 20-19 last week in New York. Had game point. He hit that exact same shot. It was the same serve that came around.
Yeah, we should get that corner wiped. Someone thinks you're waving to them in the corner.
No, I'm trying to get the attention of our camera operator. But Lauren, what is this like for you to see this kind of athleticism handball played at this level? I mean, you picked the greatest match you could have ever walked into, and we're happy to have you here.
I know, it's exciting. Well, you can see from the spectators, too. We're all on the edge of our seat. And even those of us who aren't really familiar with the sport as much, there's been a big buzz about it around the club, you know, and the excitement of having these players come in from all over the country and indeed the world, I guess. And so, yeah, I'm getting all of my expectations met and exceeded with this. It's pretty
Very cool.
pretty exciting. What I really want to know is what do their hands look like without those gloves after the end of all this?
Actually,
This
your
looks
hands,
painful.
your hands get used to it, and you wouldn't even know that these guys were professional handball players.
Well, that's what's so cool about handball players. You could be, you know, for example, you saw Dave Chapman. Didn't necessarily look like your average handball player. Some of these guys don't, and then they get in the court and they're some of the best out there. So it's kind of a unique thing about handball.
And I can't seem to get anyone's attention to get that back glass fixed. I know maybe our camera operator can hear me. It's actually right in front of where her camera
why don't
is.
I go off camera and I'll go tell him.
Okay, well, thank you.
All right.
Thank you very much
Thanks
for
so much,
stopping
you
by,
guys.
Lauren. And
This is
please do stop by
exciting.
tomorrow. We'll
Sure
have
will.
more of an opportunity to talk to you.
Sounds great. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks, thanks very much, Lauren.
Replay.
Frustrating there for Emmett, Anthony, who had a big setup on that return and hit Charlie right in the back. Charlie goes to the left. That's one of the first times we've seen that in this match, and he gets a point out of it.
That's a tough serve, though.
Oh, yeah. Amazing serve.
Continuously going down the right, and then he slips one to the left.
We see him go to the left and hit the left side wall, but not straight down the left. Not a good shot.
Especially to Emmett, but Emmett puts it right back to...
It's a tricky one.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
It's a great rally.
Inside-out shot by Charlie there.
Charlie cannot let that get behind him, but he somehow keeps the rally alive anyway. And remember that shot, Anthony, when Charlie had match point, he hit it with the back of his hand.
This is why you come watch handball.
Yeah. It's a tough shot here for Charlie.
Oh,
No.
and he
No
flat
way,
kills it.
Anthony. No one can make that shot.
That was on the wall, and he flat kills it. We see some fans looking in here.
I'm going home. I can't believe it. That was one of the most unbelievable shots I've ever seen. That ball is right on the right side wall. Charlie comes over top of it, hits the ball literally flat right in front of Emmett. I thought it would be hard to even get that ball back.
And I agree. I thought the same thing. I didn't think he was going to return it.
Now, guys that can hear us here on this side wall couldn't actually see what Charlie just did with that ball on the right side wall at about shoulder height. He comes over top of it, and we're going to see a replay here. I mean, this is just incredible.
Made us jump out of our seat.
And I can assure you, Emmett was not expecting that shot.
Oh, no, never. Not too many people can do that. So
now it's match point number 2. We've seen each player serve for the match. This is Charlie's second serve for the match. This is a huge match in terms of ranking points. I mean, Charlie could lose his #1 ranking. Emmett could move into the top 5.
And here we go. Oh. It could be a game match. Stays back. Emmett's smart. You see Charlie excitement.
That was amazing, amazing match, Anthony. Great sportsmanship from both guys. You saw that emotion from Charlie Shanks. That's just a quarterfinal match. He's fist pumping. He knows how well he had to play and how hard he pushed to win that match. Emmett has nothing to be ashamed of. He played absolutely phenomenal despite a very slow start. This crowd unbelievably appreciative. Anthony, did you think at any point that Charlie had missed his opportunity? I mean, Emmett came back and served for the match.
Well, I thought I said it was going to go into overtime, but when Emmett came back into this match and started to take over that front court and really start shooting the ball aggressively and slowed the game down, you saw that was a big mental thing for Charlie, and then all of a sudden Charlie took it right back away from him and started being aggressive and going and going and going, and you saw what happened. I mean, that last aggressive punch by Charlie really, and some amazing shots as we witnessed. So,
well, it was a combination of clutch shots, amazing shots, athleticism, endurance. I mean, it was just everything, and to see Charlie Shanks at the end of that match come through with just some incredible kill shots. Emmett Peixoto didn't give him anything, didn't put any balls on the ground. I mean, Charlie had to go out there and win it. Emmett almost won it. I mean, you hate to have to say someone lost that match because both guys played so well, but it will be Charlie Shanks now in a rematch with Luis Moreno. They recently played in Alaska. Now remember, Charlie had won 3 of the last 4 meetings, and then Luis just crushed him in Alaska. So that'll be an interesting matchup. The other semifinal, of course, will be Sean Lenning and myself. That's a rematch of Tucson from race stop number 2. So tomorrow, a very exciting day. We still have some more matches here tonight. Senior Race for 8 tour. So you stay tuned. We're going to take a little break, but you stick around. Check out the seniors. These are the guys that you looked up to. These are the guys that, you emulated yourself after when you were growing up, and they're still playing great ball. We're going to see John Robles tonight, Dan Armijo, maybe even John Bike. It's going to be an exciting night. Anthony, I want to thank you for stopping in. Congratulate you on your 10th place finish here. Very good performance. And we might actually have you in at some point the rest of the weekend. I know you're free. I know you're tired, but you're also done playing.
That's okay. Yeah, I'd like to join you again.
Okay, great. Anthony, thank you. For Dave Fink, Anthony Celesto, Linda Manning, the rest of the crew, both here and working off-site, thank you, and we'll see you in just a bit.
At shelters, you'll discover healthy and loving animals just waiting to become a part of your family. Why wait? You can make a difference in the life of an animal. A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person and adopt your new best friend today. To find out more, visit theshelterpetproject.org.
For 20 years, the Inner City Handball Association has educated, mentored, and served young people through handball. Young people that participate in the Inner City Handball Association programs have a high graduation rate from high school and continue on to college. Inner City Handball teams are good athletes, good students, and good ambassadors for the sport of handball. We need your help to continue our work. Inner City Handball Association is a registered 501c3 tax-exempt charity. Please donate today. Thank you.
Working and working out takes a lot of energy. That's why I drink Zenergy. Feeling fantastic and looking good has never been easier. Science, extreme science for your active lifestyle.
Hello, I'm Bruce Fabrizio, inventor of Simple Green. Our non-toxic, biodegradable, all-purpose cleaner works great for cleaning. Thank you. Non-toxic, biodegradable, simple green. It's great for cleaning.